gets in there fresh, makes a really big impact. I know you skated with those guys over time, just in rehabs, things like that. What can you say about the work those guys put in just to be ready, even though they know their number might not be called at all?
Yeah, it's something we talked about when we were out working together. Is prepare as if we're playing, hit each other as hard as we possibly can. Get those lumps before you have to go out and do it on the ice. So you saw how they were able to make an impact last night, and we love that.
Evan, you're still down in the series, obviously, but just how much does everything feel different this morning? How coming off a night like that?
Yeah, it's obviously huge to get that win, but our mentality doesn't really change in how we approach each game. It's our style of play doesn't change, and what we have to do to be successful doesn't change. So we'll take it on a game-by-game basis, just like we have been, and we'll start preparing for Game 4 right now.
And Aaron, one for you. Do you feel like you're completely back in the flow now? I mean, it's obviously been stop and start for you. Do you feel like you're back to normal?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Game 3, what was my Game 1 against Tampa, was a tough one, and it was hard to find timing and stuff like that. But since then, I've felt great, and it's been a tough challenge every single game, but a welcome one, and I've felt that I'm back in the groove of playing playoff hockey.
Evan, you touched on doing what you guys have to do to be successful. What do you think you guys were able to do in Game 3 that maybe you weren't able to do in Games 1 and 2, and how do you build on that going into tomorrow?
I think just getting some sustained ozone time and keeping things simple. I think that was the biggest thing. Just not trying to make fancy plays and break the game open. We just stuck to our game, stuck to being hard on it and physical, and kind of let the game take care of itself.
Aaron, obviously Matthews is getting chances. He's been held off the scoreboard, at least in terms of goals this series so far. What if anything, do you think you guys are doing well to kind of contain him?
With any player like that, the Matthews and McDavids of the world, you're trying your best. At the end of the day, they're going to get their chances, and what they create around the net, not necessarily with goals all the time, is chaos, right? They throw everything at the net. He's in the corner, he's slinging it to the net. So he's always creating, whether or not he's on the scoreboard. So we see that, and it's a tough job for sure.
Evan, that was such a strange call in Game 2. Just what went through your mind when you found out that you were getting called for embellishment on that?
Yeah, I didn't find out till after the game, to be honest. I didn't have a clue. I just I figured there was coincidental roughings or what it was. So I couldn't believe it. My brother texted me, and I was shocked, but the game was kind of over at that point, and you move on and get ready for Game 3.
Evan, you touched on it in terms of a big picture, but Paul said the second period last night was kind of the first time you guys looked like you should look. What can you draw on from that second period? Obviously, it's tough to replicate that every period, but what did you learn about your team that period that maybe can help you going forward?
Yeah, I liked our fight. I liked, we go down on two different occasions, and we didn't give up. We, again, stuck to our game. We got pucks deep, and we got on it. I think we didn't have as much pressure on their D and on our forecheck in the first two games as we would have liked, and I thought we just got back to that in the second period.
Aaron, you've played a lot of playoff hockey the last few years. How much do you buy into momentum in a series versus each game kind of being its own entity?
Yeah, momentum swings all the time, and it's something as simple as moving through the neutral zone and not making an extra play. Controlling that flow of the game is something we focus on as a team, and it's extremely important. And then also game to game, when you win a game, you think you're the best team in the world, and when you lose a game, you're kind of feeling really down. So it's something we try to avoid, and that kind of experience and veteran leadership in our room is what takes care of those swings.
Heck, on that, obviously we talked about what the home crowd would mean. Down 2-0, the crowd obviously a little skittish, a little silent, but Barkey makes it 2-1, building comes to life. How much do you guys feel that in the moment? Obviously you're happy to get a goal, but do you feel kind of the feeling of the building change?
Yeah, that home ice momentum swing and having you know, everybody cheering you on is huge, and we really appreciate it, no doubt. That's extremely important. You know, you feel it when you're in their building, you feel it when you're in our building. It's true passion and emotion from the fans is all we can ask for.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
So well together. I mean, not just last night, but this season as well.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I've played with Nos before. I know his style of play and how he does things, and Gadge is a simple, effective player. We've had a great regular season together, and the biggest thing for us was just having no hesitation out there, which we did great with, getting pucks deep, playing simple, and when there were opportunities to attack, we did. So just being able to stick to our game, but also, you know, have no hesitation and really be effective at doing what we do best.
Ek was talking about how you guys, you know, he's skated with you a bit over the last couple months here, just how you guys kind of treat those practices when you guys are out of the lineup like you are going to play the next day, the intensity, the hits, things like that. Just can you just talk about a little bit how you guys have kind of perfected that routine of staying ready and just waiting for the call?
Yeah, I mean, it's not always easy to not play a game for a long time, especially in the playoffs to jump right in. But I mean, obviously they did a pretty good job to keep us in shape, and I didn't feel any weakness or shortness of breath or anything like that. So thanks to them, and that's I've been trying to stay ready and wait for my chance, and that happened, and I'm happy for that we win a game.
Two questions. First for Tomáš. I know Gadjo ended up getting credited for the goal, but can you just take us through the play and the setup to get that goal in the second period? What were you looking for? What did you see? And just to be able to be on the ice for the goal that gave you guys that initial lead?
Yeah, AJ recovered the puck pretty good, and Schmidt rims it, and I strop it, and Gaji did pretty good job. He made room for me, and I just cut to the middle and used them as a screen, and it's a pretty good goal by us, and it's a work. How I said before, we work as a line, and we did a pretty good job at that, I think, yesterday.
And then for either of you, when you guys aren't playing, what are you able to take away when you're watching, whether it's from up in the press box or wherever you're watching? What are you able to maybe observe, or what are things that you're able to pick up when you're not on the ice, so that when you guys do get in the game, you're able to take advantage?
Yeah, you watch the games diligently, and you know, you're in the meetings, and you listen to the vibe and what's going on around you, and again, you stay ready, and everyone's committed here to winning, and everyone's committed to doing their part in this job here. So being able to stay on top of things and perfecting your game and doing the exact same things you'd be doing in the regular season when you're in the lineup or you're out of the lineup, and bringing that edge when you are in the lineup and being the difference maker. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we did last night was we set the tone, and you know, we were given a job, and we did exactly what we needed to do. Just being able to be relied upon when called. So I think we did a really good job of doing that.
AJ, what are you guys doing well on the dump-ins, the rims, to make it uncomfortable for Wool handling the puck and the Leafs defense to break out?
Everyone's kind of staying tight together, and we're using our speed to being able to generate that. And one of the biggest things is being able to get to the red line to dump it in the ice and the puck, right? So being quick on the forecheck is one thing, but positionally sound and staying tight together so that when they do move the puck, we're a step away from that guy receiving the puck and being on top of them, and then the other guys kind of read off of their line mates. So relying on each other, but also doing your job and knowing that, you know, the other guy has to do his too.
I know both you guys played with Brad, obviously, in the past. What was it like watching him have that moment for you guys last night?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's a great guy, great player, and a great leader too. So it was a great addition for us, and he's always funny, and it's just fun to be around him. And it was in Boston, and Sam is here, so he always have something to say and trips the guys. And it's a great guy and great human being, and I'm happy to be his teammate again.
Yeah, I mean, he's an exceptional person, an amazing player, and everyone respects him. But I think his leadership skills are, are something that he brings to the table that we already had here, but also he kind of brings that edge. And he's definitely one of the guys that keeps it positive around the locker room. Sometimes, you get through momentum swings and you're not playing the right way or whatever. You get a bad bounce. He's always that guy that's kind of trying to get people going and keep the bench alive. So being able to be that good of a player, that competitive of a guy, but also being able to think about other people and think about your teammates and being that leader on the bench and that vocal presence, it's something not a lot of guys can do. So he does check a lot of boxes, and he brings a lot to this team, and we're so happy to have him. And I think the Panthers fans are also happy to have him. So I don't think anyone predicted what he's going to score a game winner for us a couple months ago, but it's been an amazing ride, and we're really happy to have him.
Tomáš, to keep with the Brad theme, we saw the clip in the locker room of when he presented you with the puck after the game, and what he said. Just what's it mean that a guy at that status in the game is so appreciative of the job that you guys did last night?
Yeah, it's obviously huge to be recognized like that by a player like that. So it was a nice feeling for sure, and doesn't matter who scored, doesn't matter who played like that or like that. It's the most important thing in the playoffs, or overall, it's to get a win, and that's what we try to focus on as a line, to help our team to get that win we needed, and it was for sure nice to be recognized for doing a good job at that.
Thank you guys. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks.